Choose life and live. Buy original. Be original. SON.
New standards for energy and ginger drinks on the way as Nigeria reviews standards for soft drinks. Nigeria leads in implementation of quality policy in ECOWAS region. Plus, presentation of Mancap certificate to 2 deserving companies in Lagos. Hello and welcome to Standard and You. I am delighted to bring the program to you. My name is Ifoma Okonkwo. I'll be back after this message.
The Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, brings a new lease of life to Nigeria SMEs. SON has put a greater premium on developing standards to improve made-in-Nigeria products for export. We have developed more standards for products like sesame, cocoa, gari, and more, courtesy of our accredited state-of-the-art laboratories. In keeping with the federal government's ease of doing business, SON has simplified its processes and turned around time for Mancap, Mancap, and other certification processes. SON has intensified market surveillance, raids, and seizures to reduce substandard products in circulation, and offenders shall be prosecuted. Join SON in ridding our nation of substandard products. If you see something, say something. Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving lives through standards.
It's Standard and You, and nice to know you're watching. Did you know that Nigeria is reviewing standards for soft drinks and at the same time developing standards for energy and ginger drinks? Alimoto Sifo tells us why and how this will be achieved.
Members of this technical committee comprise representatives of the Federal Ministry of Health, National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, Federal Industrial Research Oshodi FIRO, and Association of Food, Beverages and Tobacco Employers. Others are the Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology, Institute of Public Analysts of Nigeria, Consumer Protection Council, Standards Organization of Nigeria, and major manufacturers of alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks in Nigeria. The focus of the meeting was to examine the need for Nigeria to generate our own data to determine benzene level in soft drinks. This is to enable the nation arrive at a safe level of benzoic acid, or better still, go for alternative preservatives. Represented by his technical advisor, Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, emphasized that the review of the standards was aimed at protecting consumers and also to guide manufacturers, importers, as well as to promote fair trade practice.
We are all aware that spontaneous benzene formation, which is carcinogenic in soft drinks, which is born out of the use of benzoic acid as preservative in drinks in the presence of ascorbic acid, has been of great national concern in Nigeria in recent times. Regulatory requirements for use of benzoic acid vary from country to country depending on environmental and weather conditions. Consequently, Nigeria needs to generate her own data on benzene level in soft drinks so as to arrive at a safe maximum level of benzoic acid or opt for alternative preservatives as case may be. Energy drink is one of the most highly consumed non-alcoholic drinks by 30 to 50% of youths and adolescents.
Osita Aboloma stressed that the 5 draft standards examined by the committee involve products that are consumed by a large number of the public across all ages. The DG Son identified youths between the ages of 30 and 50 as those who consume more of energy drinks, adding that there's been increased adverse health effects on these people due to the caffeine and sugar contents in energy drinks.
In fact, several adverse health effects are being attributed to the rate of consumption of energy drinks due to its caffeine and sugar contents in recent times. This has raised a question as to the safety of consuming the beverage, thus the need for proper regulation. You may also recall that in January 2013, the Federal House of Representatives moved to ban energy drinks consequent upon a motion raised by Honorable Yakub Alebius, ACN Lagos, on the urgent need to prescribe the sale, distribution, and consumption of caffeinated energy drinks in Nigeria. The high point of his concern was on the alarming kidney and heart failures linked to increased addictive consumption of energy drinks by adolescents.
The draft standards are 1. Standard for soft drinks, 2. Standard for energy drinks, 3. Standard for ginger drinks, 4. Standard for sparkling fruit drinks, 5. Standard for fruit squashes concentrates and fruit cordial concentrates.
It is therefore imperative that you all exercise great diligence in carrying out this task towards achieving the objective of setting standards that will adequately prescribe good quality and good safety requirements.
He therefore charged the committee to be thorough and diligent in setting standards that will adequately prescribe good quality and food safety requirements in line with global best practices. Chairman of the committee, Jide Alo, represented by Professor Segun Ayejuyo, thanked members for their valuable contributions and called for robust interactions with the interests of consumers in mind.
All of us here, we are aware, we can read. The majority of the people that consume this our drink, they don't know. Theirs is just to pick a bottle and gulp whatever they want to gulp. But then I can read that, oh, this one have caffeine content. Would that one be okay for me? Because if I chew cola nuts, I might not sleep for 2 days. I can run away from that. But there are so many people around here that they don't know. So it is for us to safeguard the health of that particular nation we belong to. Not only all this one, because we still need to go outside the shore of our own country. And our product must be the one that will not be rejected at all. And in doing this one, I want to say that this is a call to duty. And everybody here representing no particular organization, we must have passed through most of these things on our own. We know what we do on a regular basis, and we know why we are here. The essence of it all is that most of these documents has already been passed to us. A lot of us have made their own individual comments, probably have been sent to the secretariat. But the joy of it all is here now we are eyeball to eyeball to see how we can move this our nation forward. Whatever we are doing now, posterity is here to judge us. I have tried as hard as possible to see maybe we work more on heavy metals in our own environment. We know how toxic lead could be, we know how toxic cadmium could be, mercury could be. At the other, we are saying that you really allow this particular one. A time was in Germany when most of these things, all their waters were contaminated. What do they now do? They're not going to run away, so they started saying that maybe you can allow certain ones that can live, maybe quality life, 70.
Standards Organization of Nigeria (SON) brings a new lease of life to Nigerian SMEs. SON has put a greater premium on developing standards aimed at improving the exports of the nation's food and cash crops. This explains why we have developed more standards for Nigeria's produce like sesame, cocoa, garri, and more, courtesy our accredited state-of-the-art laboratories. In keeping with the federal government's ease of doing business, SON has simplified its processes and turnaround time for Mancap and Mancap to reduce substandard products and legal arm to prosecute offenders. Join Standards Organization of Nigeria in ridding our nation of substandard goods due to consistent market surveillance and raids. See something, say something. Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving life through standards.
If you just joined us, you're watching Standard and You, reaching you on the network service of the NTA. Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria has been nominated Chairman and Coordinator of the pilot scheme of the implementation of quality policy of the ECOWAS. This was at the just concluded African Organization for Standardization, ASO Assembly, held in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. He expressed the nation's preparedness to partner with other ECOWAS member states under the scheme to achieve equal implementation of harmonized standards, removal of trade barriers, improved interregional and international trade, and sustainable economic development within the region. Aboluma said that Nigeria became the first nation in West Africa to put together a national quality policy document, which he explained is currently being aligned with the SON Act No. 14 of 2015, which is before the Federal Executive Council for approval. Two companies companies have been presented with the Standards Organization of Nigeria's Mandatory Conformity Assessment Program, Mancap certificates in Lagos. The companies are Easy and Pure Investment and Pulsico Limited. I was at the official presentation and brought back this story. That was the official presentation of the Mancap certificates to representatives of the companies by the State Coordinator, Lagos Office 3 of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Mrs. Ngozi Ekweme. These certificates confer on the two companies an industrial status that indicates that products from these companies are of acceptable standards.
Mancap, as we know, is Mandatory Conformity Assessment Program by Federal Government of Nigeria. It's a policy, a mandatory assessment. Because in third world, we have every Dick and Harry making something because they want to make money. It was discovered that people purchase things that will kill them rather than give them the nutritive value in food industry. Mancap is to address all these things. In that, Mancap is a scientific certification based on benchmarking the result of scientific analysis with the requirement of the product standards. So in doing that, you analyze the product, you inspect the production area, you inspect the people that are involved in the production. By the time you make all this correction, the quality, the environment, the content of the product itself, you find out that you're eliminating substandard products. And then you are only allowing the quality products to thrive in this market.
After a tedious but rewarding exercise, which afforded the companies the opportunity to interact with the SON, to acquire basic skills to upgrade their processes and infrastructure, owners of the company expressed their appreciation to the SON for a job well done.
It's all about standard and quality. And with what they do, try to make us to meet up to quality and standard, it really made us have one of the best, if not the best water, table water out there in the market. And for all those out there that are actually thinking of going into water business, they shouldn't be scared of SON officials. They are our friends. They are out there to make us have healthy drinking water. And if you don't cooperate with them, then you have problem with your products.
So we think SON is a company that will scare you, but they are not to scare us. I've dealt with them, I've realized that they don't want to scare you, but they just want to improve your standard. So what I would advise other companies is that they should come and identify themselves, register with SON, and listen to all the corrections they're asking them to do, at least to improve the standard of water.
Both companies are producers of table water based in Lagos. The Mandatory Conformity Assessment Program, Mancap, is a mandatory certificate scheme by the SON to ensure that all locally manufactured products conform with the relevant Nigerian industrial standards. Congratulations to Easy and Pure Investment and Pulsico Limited. The Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria has challenged stakeholders to understand and appreciate the importance of the ISO 9001 Quality Management System Standard and ISO 14001 Environment Management System Standard. He gave this charge at an awareness program held in Ibadan, Oyo State, Southwest Nigeria. Alimoto Sifo has details of these and other sensitizations by the SON.
In the past 3 weeks, the Standards Organization of Nigeria embarked on a sensitization to create awareness on its activities, programs, and services. The whole idea is to empower Nigerians with basic knowledge on the activities of the SON and how to take advantage of SON's programs and the interests of consumers, manufacturers and other stakeholders. This seminar in Ibadan, Oyo State, Southwest Nigeria, is one of such events by the SON. Discussions at this forum centered on the theme Quality Management System ISO 9001 and Environmental Management System ISO 14001. Director General of the SON was represented by the State Coordinator of the SON, Toyin Idowu, wants more people to embrace these two standards, adding that they both seek to promote quality and safety of products.
To create awareness for the manufacturers, bankers, all the people, our stakeholders, to know that one, for the 14,001 2015, it will teach them how to create a clean environment for doing their business. It will reduce pollution to create a safe and sound environment, sustainable environment to do business. And 9001 is to improve the system, that's the system of operation.
Engineer Ayola Ololade was guest speaker at the event. He spoke on the two standards, ISO 9001, Quality Management System, and ISO 14001, Environmental Management System.
The two standards actually are applicable to the Nigerian environment. For the standard 9001 rather, it is Quality Management System, and we have brought this down to the stakeholders here in Oyo State and the neighboring states to help the various organizations in relation to improvement in their processes, improvement in their practices, such that they will continue to enjoy business continuity. Environmental management system, it's a known fact now that human activities has impact on the environment. And we are trying to bring this sensitization, making organizations and individuals aware of the impact of their activities on the environment as it concerns pollution to land, to water, and then to the air.
Some participants bear their minds on the sensitization.
Let me first of all commend Standard Organization of Nigeria for this wonderful sensitization program. And the charge is that they want standards. They're introducing standard into service, into product, and then how to introduce a standard into a sustainable environment in Nigeria and in particular Oyo State.
The ISO 9001 2015 and the ISO 14000. As you're well aware, it's all about quality management system, both in the workplace, at home. We all need to standardize certain things, whatever it is that we do, and in places that we work. Whatever we're churning out, both in terms of services, should be standardized, so that at the end of the day, it will be to the benefit of the consumers.
The workshop has been an educative one, very interesting, eye-opener, especially in the area of quality management system. I really appreciate the speaker, has done very well.
I'm really impressed. First, he teach me how to take care of my environment. Second, he teach me how to improve in my business.
It's still Standard and you, and it's good to know you're still watching. Feedback is next. Over to you, Alimot.
Choose life and live. Buy original. Be original. SON.
What does quality mean to you as a consumer? Did you know that you have the right to demand for quality on all products purchased? The prevalence of substandard products in our society is fast outweighing quality products because of our nonchalant and inattentive attitudes towards purchasing quality products. Remember, dealers on substandard products won't be in the market if we all demanded quality on our products. Take a stance now and insist on quality because you deserve it and it's your right. Buy right, buy quality, buy made in Nigeria products. Hello, we're nice to have you on the feedback segment of the program. I am Halimot Osifo. Our first message here is from Yakubu Samuel from Niger State. It says, please, how do I go about product registration and certification? Yakub, you can visit our website on www.sun.gov.ng for information about product registration and certification. Better still, you can go to Sun's office in Niger State. Peter Obanla from Okota, it says, I want to encourage you to keep it up. Well done. Thank you so much, Peter. Stanley from Calabar says, I need guidance on the standards requirements for pure water business. All right, Stanley, please visit our Cross River State office at 10 Bishop Morinang Avenue, State Housing Estate, Calabar. Hawa Kalba from Zaria says, I do enjoy your program. God bless you. Amen. And you too. Thank you, Hawa. Oladimeji from Badagry says, I'm watching the program. How can one participate in your awareness programs? All right, Oladimeji, to participate in any of Sun's awareness programs, you need to identify yourself as a stakeholder of the SON. That's where you get an invite. Musa Mustafa from Maiduguri says, I appreciate the program. How can I volunteer for the SON? Musa, one of the ways of volunteering for the Standards Organization of Nigeria is by providing us with information that will enable us enforce standards. And that's the much we can take on the feedback segment of the program. Thank you so much for reaching out to us. We are glad to hear from you. Keep the messages coming in. Call us or send in your messages to the number 0705-972-4455. You can also reach us on any of our social media platforms on Facebook at Standard and You, Instagram and Twitter at Standard and You _. You can also send a mail to the address thestandardandyou@gmail.com. Our YouTube channel is at youtube.com/standardandyou. If you haven't subscribed, please do so now because subscription is free. Thank you and have a nice week.